What's going on, Pirates? Welcome, my name is Steven. Some people know me as the True Champion, and I am joined by Xanderin for today's Pirates League Finals. Xanderin, how you feeling today, bud?
I feel great. It's a great afternoon in Florida for me. Super excited for today.
Awesome. Well, I know this is your first time joining an official One Piece card game broadcast. What's something everyone at home should know about you before we get into the rest of the day?
Yeah, I've been commentating for I guess the local scene over here, along with some regionals that's been popping up here and there, and I'm super excited to see some more streams locally and some more regionals. I'm currently an ace deck leader, possibly switching to something else later in 14. Maybe some boa.
A captain after my own heart. I too am a big fan of Ace right now in the OP13 meta, but we're not necessarily here to talk about our love for the red and blue man himself. What I do want to talk about, though, is a reminder that this is the finals of the One Piece card game Pirates League official shop edition, which means a lot of things. Number one, it means the culmination of what's been a 3-month-long event across 8 different shops and who knows how many zip codes. It's been super fun so far. I was here for the first week and I'm here for the last. Definitely excited to showcase more of what the One Piece card game has to offer. We're currently in the OP13 meta as far as the English side of the game is concerned, and that's the format that our players will be playing today. They won't necessarily be with the same decks, but just so you know, we have San Francisco representing the West Coast and Brooklyn representing the East Coast today in the finals. Classic feud, as people at home know. Anything you are thinking of seeing or anything you're hoping to see maybe again from what these players have brought in the past?
Yeah, I'm highly expecting Emu. Maybe Zoro. Hopefully Red Blue Ace as well. But I mean, we'll see, right?
1000%. And something that I kind of wanted to note in case anyone is maybe questioning the different background that I have. I'm currently in Japan right now. Xander said it was, a beautiful, beautiful Florida afternoon. It is a very dark morning here in Japan. I think it's about 5 a.m. local time. So excuse me if I'm not being as loud or cheerful as maybe I normally am. I'm literally just woke up. But it's going to be a very fun day regardless.
Yeah, I mean, how's Japan for you? Is it a little different from over here in the States?
Well, we are playing in a different format, so every time I go to One Piece Local over here, I am playing OP14, which is definitely gonna. I have to rewind my brain a little bit to talk today about the cards being seen, but it's been so far an absolute blast. I've been here for a few weeks, gonna be here for a few more, and when I got the call to whether or not I wanted to do today, I was like, of course I am. No difference of seas would ever stop a pirate in One Piece, so why would it stop me? Speaking of which, I really wanted to just double check with everyone that we went over the proper schedule for today's event. If you guys wanted to just double check here, like I said, the very first event between Chicago and Plano, Texas happened September 6th, and today, December 6th, we have Brooklyn versus San Francisco. It is officially 12 p.m. PST and past then, and I believe we have our players ready to go. I believe the first round of the event, we have Blue Kool-Aid Man representing San Francisco versus, I want to say, it was Will from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil what both these players are playing, but once it's revealed, I think it'll be very cute. That's what I'll say. It's very cute.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to be an interesting matchup between the two, right?
Sparks will fly. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I think we're going to see the die roll here to see who goes first. And it's a Zoro mirror.
Yes, Blue Kool-Aid Man is back-to-backing with Zoro. I don't remember what Will played the last time they represented Brooklyn, but it was possible they played Zoro as well. So, yeah, we have a really cool green mirror match happening here. Blue Kool-Aid Man, I believe, has been playing Zoro for the longest time. You can tell how much he loves this deck. And it's going to be pretty awesome to see how this matchup shakes out. It's going to be one of aggression and one of, well, I've always described Zoro as a deck with no wrong choice. I call it a control deck sometimes because you can play like that sometimes because you're green, but also you can just beat face it if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an aggressive deck, but just in itself. So it's very interesting to see it in a mirror match because I think it's just going to end up being just swing large every time, just to make sure that your opponent is down to 0 life as soon as possible.
Yeah, and weirdly, like you have a lot of character protection in green, but
Hmm.
Zoro is not known for KOing cards by effect. It's known by KOing cards the good old fashioned way, punching them in the face. So weirdly, like your characters are actually under threat way more in this deck than they normally are against other decks. Funny enough. So yeah, I think we are going to just see a classic swordsman v swordsman 1v1 as these players' main strategy because it's the only way they can realistically guarantee themselves pressure rather than hope pressure sticks around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe Will did win the dice roll. They've already gotten their mulligan. Blue and Kool-Aid Man is resolving theirs. We're going to be figuring out pretty soon here whether or not Will decided to go first or second. I feel like in this matchup, it depends on how important you think your 5 drops are, I guess. Which they might
Yeah.
not because, like I said, they might not be playing anything.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it depends on your curve too, right? Like, what's your late game looking like? Are you more of a mid-range deck, or are you more of drop your bombs later?
Hmm.
And it looks like Will did go first, dropping that Hiyori, and Blue Kool-Aid Man doing the same.
Yeah, he's like, I can do what you do, but mine has an extra effect. I get
Yeah,
to now
yeah,
actually resolve the effect to grab a slash card.
I can actually search.
Yeah, it is interesting to see Will prioritize the odd curve for their Dawn. There are a lot of powerful 5 drops that can lead into really impactful, 6 or even like, sorry, 7 or even 9 Dawn turns. Because it like adds up to where you can use like your events a little bit easier too. Um, it'll be interesting to see. I can't remember too well. I think Blue Kool-Aid Man was on a Dracula version of Zoro last time we watched them play. If they were still on that, that could be pretty useful in this
Oh,
matchup. I
yeah,
can't
that
remember
that
though.
would definitely be interesting.
But there we see the
It
tried and true
looks like
strategy of throw down on Zoro swing. Usually works and pays off for the Zoro players.
yeah, and surprisingly enough too, because you would think you would want to use your Hiyori to search, uh, and stay about the same hand size as your opponent, but just swing directly at your opponent and just give him the extra card.
Also, you don't want to leave a character rested on the board for your opponent's Zoro to attack into and attack twice with, right? Because then they just get like buku
Right?
value
Yeah.
that way, or they're kind of priced into using that effect. Whereas now they can just attack.
That's true. Yeah. So looks like 4 to 4 life here. Passing it over to Will.
Something that I know a lot of Zoro's players are happy about is the introduction of the 6-drop Trafalgar Law from OP13. It's been a very nice inclusion, and I'm very excited to see how it'll play out in this matchup. Having a big, beefy setted blocker like that is, well, against Zoro, not the end all be all, but the more power you can give your blockers, the better. I'll say that.
Yeah, I do agree. I do think including that law is very good for the late game since he does gain blocker at 1 life. Um, but just in general, just being able to play it down, pick up a character, and play down another one in its place, it's very strong, very powerful.
And if I'm not mistaken, was that is that a Dracula Mihawk that was just played?
Yes, it is a
And then we're
Dracula
going into a
Mihawk.
Perona.
I can't see the other card, but
Oh,
it
the good old
looks.
problems with glare. But I know
Glare.
Perona was played, and I know we searched for a slash card there. The card that's rested, I believe, is that a copy
I
of
think
the
it's
four drop
the
Zoro?
Zoro. Yeah, I do think it's a four
Yeah,
cop Zoro. And then playing down the Perona with the restand of the Dawn. So that's very good, very
exactly.
strong.
Yes, and we'll know for sure if it's the Zoro by the end of the turn if it becomes active. But that was my read of what
Yes.
that card is. So let's hope I'm correct. So it's actually going to be Will showcasing some of the cool Dracula Mihawk plays. I kind of tried to see the future since I am, ahead on the time zone, but I just saw it for the wrong person.
Oh, it looks like swinging 8 lead.
Classic Zoro things. I know if UniX TCG, another One Piece card game creator, was here, he'd just be super happy because no matter what, Zoro is going to win this game, and he's a gigantic Zoro fanboy.
Mm.
It is the
Oh, and it
Zoro. It
was,
became active.
yeah. It is a requirement. It always restands.
Oh, and there we see the Trafalgar Law bouncing back the Perona to our hand to be able to reuse it later on in the game. I definitely like the priority here because Blue Kool-Aid Man's recognizing that they're going to be, kind of low on life here. But we do get access to the 5-drop Tashigi as well, giving us the resting of our opponent Zoro, 3 down on our leader, attack, and then attack again. Woohoo! We love a good combo.
Oof, so strong. And then looks like 3-3 life here on both sides.
They're both doing a pretty good job of trying to react to what each one of them is doing. The classic green player move of what matters more is how you deal with your opponent's cards rather than just trying to advance your own kind of game plan, because all of your cards get that much better when they trade into your opponent's other cards. Like this Trafalgar Law equals no Zoro plus a damage on our opponent's life. That's amazing. And now Will's kind of stuck there with, like you said, a Hayori and a Dracula Mihawk that kind of aren't doing anything.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see what could be Will's play here, uh, and what they're gonna do with the rest of their Dawn and turn.
Well, something that they could be playing for is their own copy of Law, which I do believe we see them.
Mm.
No, that's the 4-drop Zoro. But they could be playing for their own Law play right now because they have a pretty juicy target that they could bounce back in that Hayori, and then they have the ability to now get rid of a Tashigi on top of being able to threaten the life. So maybe the argument for Will of being on the 1 Dawn curve is that essentially you'll be playing a turn behind, but you'll always have 1 Dawn more than whatever your opponent's last even curve play was, which in a mirror match scenario could be just that little bit extra you need every single turn to kind of go over them in tempo, which could be interesting
Yeah,
to see
that's
if that
true.
plays out that way. Because if we matched the Law play from Blue Kool-Aid Man with our own Law play right now, that'd be pretty powerful.
Yeah, very, very powerful. I think just deciding here still what's the rest of our play looking like.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you think the decision point is? Like, where the Dawn should go? How many attacks we're planning on doing? What do you think it is?
I think it could be a multiple of things, right? So you could be considering, if I don't have the Law, um, do I play down another, like a 5 cost? Do I play down Tashigi, or do I play down a Cavendish, um,
Mm.
just to get a little more value?
So more like a go wide approach rather than like a more board control
Mhm.
approach. But here we see secret option C: attack with Jacko Mihawk. Going to be demanding the 1K counter there from Blue Kool-Aid Man.
I'm playing the
Oh,
Tashigi.
interesting. We just had the Tashigi there. Going to go ahead and rest of the Law, swing probably at our Tashigi with the Zoro. I had to guess.
I think in this play, I think he'd more than likely be swinging at the Law since it's 1K less.
Got the potential.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? You're so correct. You're so correct.
And then just
And then we
swinging the
countered
8
out
of
of it, and
life.
then we're gonna go ahead and take the life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell, like, when you cannot hear players talk. Like, I wonder what they're attacking. It
Yeah,
could be anything.
for sure. Yeah, and that's why like I start looking whenever I look at games, I'm just like, okay, so if I'm in this position, right, would I want to be swinging at Tashigi here, even though I know Tashigi is a 7K attacker? Do I want to swing at Tashigi, use less counter for your opponent, or do I want to swing at the law, make sure that your opponent swings or counters out just by one more counter?
And usually, like, the answer is almost always eat your opponent's hand whenever possible, and
Mm,
that's why the law was the best
yeah.
attack there, because it demanded an extra card out of Cooling Hand if they plan on stopping it.
Yeah.
But there we see a second Tashigi coming down for Blue Kool-Aid Man, resting Will's Tashigi and giving the Dawn to our leader. And now we're going to be swinging with this law. You know what? If you plan on resting it anyway, I'm just going to get it. I'm going to rest it on my own terms. Blue Kool-Aid Man is decided.
Yeah. And we did swing at the Hiyori with the law. I think with 7K, we're probably going to be swinging in, I think, life. Maybe the Mihawk.
I guess it just depends on how threatened we feel by the Mihawk. But there we see a counter for taking 2 cards. I believe a 2K and a 1K. So yeah, I think it was life that we swung at. And Will's like, no, I want my third life card, please and thank you.
Yeah, I know you're going to swing one more time, right? So let me actually counter.
And that attack is going to be more than 7K, so we may as well stop the smaller attack. So here we could be swinging. Oh, was that at life again? And we just stopped that one too with the 2/2Ks, I think.
I
Ooh,
think it
but we do
was.
have the Luffy will be the king of the pirates.
So I think we were swinging at the Tashigi. I think he gave
So no,
two ones.
so the first attack was at life. The second attack with the event was at Tashigi, and now our third attack's at life again. Classic Zoro shenanigans. When you have the event, you can attack in any order you want, and it'll always work out. But we did eat
Yeah.
up a lot of cards from Will's side. We got rid of a total of 5 cards that turn as Blue Kool-Aid Man, which is the place you want to be in when you're putting your opponent at 2 life. With 3 characters on board, 2 of which are base 7K or higher.
Yeah, I mean it's looking very strong on Blue Kool-Aid-Man's side.
Yeah, this all comes back to that, I think, that law turn that we had from Blue Kool-Aid Man the turn previous, where he was able to establish 2 bodies of a 5 and a 6 drop, while also being able to rest and attack with their leader skill, which is just kind of unlocked from this brand new Trafalgar Law from OP13. Very nice to see. And Will's kind of grasping to get back in this game, I think.
And I think playing the Perona, searching. What could we be searching at this point, right? We're gonna find
the Don
is it
Quixote
the
Pirates
Zero cost?
event. I don't try to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Zero cost. I don't try saying the full name of that one. That one is
It's
rough for
very
my
long.
speech impediment. I believe we're at 9 Dawn for Will, so we have 8 left, right?
Yeah, I do believe so as well.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of things we could do with 8 Dawn. Looks like we're going to be giving a Dawn over to the Mihawk to go ahead and punch. Let's go ahead and get a Cavendish for the counter. Oh man, this is a it's worth remembering that this is a team event, everybody. So while there is, one player on screen right now, there's a total of 3 players playing against each other, and their teammates are there and they are speaking with them about what kinds of plays they could be making at certain times. So just keep that in mind. And the winner of this match will be the people who, win the first 2 rounds. But for the
Hmm.
sake of the show, even if one store wins 2 very quickly, we'll still show the third game for prosperity.
Yeah, and then I think that's also pretty good too, because just to see what could have happened in that third game.
Oh yes, like if you, especially if it's like a reverse, like if you get swept, but then you win in the third game, you can just like look to your teammates and be like, "Come on, guys, at least I carried."
Exactly.
It's more for bragging rights with your team, less about bragging rights against the other team.
Oh, we did
Okay,
we
but
did
Will had a
swing at
pretty
the
good controlling
law.
turn there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had and I believe we used our Luffy will be king of the pirates activation to attack a Tashigi as well. So we controlled the board and dealt the damage to Blue Kool-Aid Man. But Blue Kool-Aid Man was like, "I'll take all of it. That's fine. I'll go to 1, no
Yeah.
problem."
Yeah, it makes me think too. What do you do now, right? You only have one Tashigi, I guess 3 potential swings.
Well, I mean, you never know how many Luffy's you got. But another card that I know has been popular in Zoro decks after OP13 is the 10-drop Shanks, to be able to reactivate all your Dawn and use all those really powerful Dawn attached effects you have. But we don't really have enough characters in play, I think, to justify a play like that, because we're really only going to be able to put the Dawn on 2 characters. So I think we're
Mm.
just going to attack first, feel out our opponent's hand. We use the 0-cost event there, discard the card from our hand, plus 3k to stop the Tashigi attack. That's a lot of information for Blue Kool-Aid Man. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Huh?
Is this a is this a double
Does
Luffy
he
will be king of the pirates? Is that the read
I
here? No way.
I think it might.
Oh, what? That's one. And I believe we've already attacked a character, so our leader effect's still online. We haven't used it yet, though.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, there's a second, there's the third attack, and then do we have another one? He's like, I didn't think I'd get this
Huh?
far. Um,
Like, do I do it? Can I hold off one more
I
turn?
thought Luffy was I thought Luffy was 3-sword style, not 4-sword style. I said Luffy, didn't I? I meant Zoro. Everyone knew what I meant. It was a perfect joke.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. You're just talking about. Oh, he did have it.
Oh, okay, to 9. Do we have the counter?
Uh,
2-2-1. There it is.
yeah,
Is
I'm
that
passing
Will's
it on
entire
over.
hand? So that like that, was that Will's entire hand? I'm pretty sure every card had to be a counter then out of life
I think so.
to
I think he only
to
has
survive
2
there.
cards left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
And then I think here, I mean, if you have the restand events again, I think you just do it.
But I'm pretty sure Blue Kool-Aid Man has quite the grip. I believe they have like a 7-card hand.
Yeah, yeah. If he if they have that much cards in hand, I don't know. That's pretty difficult.
I mean, I think you're like you were totally right on the money at the beginning of this match, Xander. That like basically going for face was the place. Blue Kool-Aid Man was showing a
Hmm.
constant aggression towards the opponent's life while simultaneously controlling the board, which is something Zoro gets to do. Unlike other decks, who sometimes have to choose which ones you do. But holding on to those events for that pretty clutch moment last turn to maybe close it all out is really forcing Will into a pickle here, where he kind of has to follow suit. Otherwise, more of the same is going to happen on the next turn. But we have Peronas maybe getting in there? Question mark.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, right? You're trying to think how can I math this out?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't go 7-7, and then the rest of the Dawn on leader, and then maybe 3 active. I don't think that's possible.
But wouldn't 7-7 take all your Dawn if you were attacking with the Peronas?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like it'd be 7-7-5. Hey, no way that's gonna work.
Yeah, no.
It'd have to be like 9 with the leader, or okay. So we're going to 5s here. So we're gonna do 5. This is with 7 back. We can still do 9 leader with if we have an event in hand. So we force out a card now, but surely it would have been just better to go 12-12 if you're doing that.
Yeah, I think 12-12 is just better.
So if I'm Blue Kool-Aid Man, I look at this play and I go, "There's no event in your hand. I'm not playing around it." Yep, and that's the for sure sign. We have another Perona getting in there, which is not what you want to be doing, as will, unfortunately. But when you're working with a limited hand size and you weren't able to build your board or keep the important characters alive long enough, you just don't have the threatening cards. And then 7, here it is. There's a 2, a 1, and a 1. That's going to be 9. Or was it 8? It might have been 8.
I think, yeah, that was 8.
Blue Kool-Aid Man
Sure, right?
is the round 1 winner, giving a point over to San Francisco. Now, a reminder, team, in order for an official shop to win, they must receive 2 points amongst their 3 players in terms of victories. San Francisco has 1 more, and they will be the Pirates League Official Shop Edition champion. Whew! We had some Zoro on Zoro violence there, Xander. What do you think of that match?
I mean, it's a toss-up, right? You could go either or, but it's definitely interesting to see the mirror match, just because you never know how is your opponent going to react. How are you going to react? So it's definitely interesting.
And we saw Will was really struggling to keep characters in play because unlike most other decks, your characters are never as like how should I this? Your characters are more threatened from an opposing Zoro than they are against anything else. And so we really saw that take impact, because if we had maybe like 1 or 2 more characters at like decent stat lines, because Blue Kool-Aid Man wasn't able to win the game with their 4 attack Zoro turn, there was maybe a door open to win the game back and counter as Will, but they were not able to seize that because of their lack of pressure on board.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna take a short little break here, and then we'll be right back with the next round.
Beautiful.
Welcome back, One Piece fans and players. We're here in the final of Pirate Leagues for official One Piece stores. How are you feeling, Steven?
I'm feeling really good. We saw some Zoro on Zoro violence, and we just got the good word from production on high that round 2 is about to get started. And I'm really excited to see that one as well.
Yeah, I think we might have an Inu, maybe a Bonnie.
Ooh, I've seen that matchup before, and hopefully I get to see it again.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe we'll see something a little different. Maybe we'll see, maybe Emu take it.
Who knows? But yes, confirmation here. We have Yuri for life representing San Francisco, who currently has 1 point. They could clinch it all right here if they win this match, versus Connor representing Brooklyn playing Emu. Yuri for life played Bonnie last time they were on this show, and they fought against an Emu, and they won pretty decisively off the back of 9-drop Zoro from OP6. So, has Yuri just cracked the code on how you beat Emu? You play the queen of late game herself, Bonnie, and that's the end of it. Who knows? Let's find out.
Yeah, it looks like Bonnie did take the first curve. I don't know who won the die roll, but with Emu taking their perspective, going second curve, I think that's probably an indicator that Connor did win the die roll.
And here we have Connor flying through all the classic emus, playing the Saint Sharia and using the leader effect just to cycle as many cards as possible. And then we have what looks to be the event, going to go ahead and grab the 10-drop 5 Elders and then trash the rest of the cards. Connor appears to be a player that does not separate out their 5 Elders from the trash, so we'll have to do some guesswork here at home as to which ones are already in there. I definitely see a Mars.
Yes,
That's one.
I think there may have been a Warcury as well.
I believe you.
All right, and I mean we're flying through our turns here.
I mean, Emu, it's a deck that once you get the more used to playing, especially the better kind of player you are kind of incentivized to play it faster because you want to get to 10 Dawn as quick as possible. And if you play faster, that might increase the likelihood that your games go faster to that point, because that's where all the real good stuff happens for you. But there we see a Saturn coming down, it looks like.
Yep.
Beautiful. But Yuri, like I said, has played this matchup before, so they know what their game plan is. It's, try to establish big, beefy bodies that can threaten all of these 5 Elders with attacks, or just put the pressure on Emu as quick as possible. Obviously, Bonnie is not prioritizing their Dawn because they know in the early turns, Emu's not really going to be that aggressive until the Jupiters start flying.
And 5 Dawn turn here for Yuri. Maybe we start seeing a Cavendish or Cavendish.
I always say that's everyone's favorite 3-drop right there, Cavendish coming down.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. It is a very strong card.
Speaking of Jupiter, there we see that one hitting the trash. So if my boy Xander here is to be believed, there are currently 3 names already in the trash, and the Saturn is maybe not long for this world. So that could be the 4th.
Yeah. And already, I think. Okay, so we're gonna. Yeah, we did pitch our Nustro for leader effect. And swinging 6 at lead.
We do have the leader skill online to go ahead and rest to that Saturn to stop one of those attacks. We love seeing that as Bonnie, just being able to sort of stave off any aggression whenever possible. In the late game, that could be big because it'll give you access to like punishing your opponent if they go for Venus Giro plays. Speaking of punishes, though, here we have the Empty Throne being able to play out the Mars, discard a card. We're going to go ahead and use the replacement effect of our 2-drop there to protect our Cavendish.
Yeah, very strong card as well. To do that early, to make sure that your Cavendish is there at least one extra turn.
Yeah, being able to abuse that Dawn is Bonnie wants to be doing. They've been doing it since Sen 7. They're going to continue to do it as long as this deck exists. Another deck that was
And we're gonna play.
ooh, is that the
four.
Uta?
Yeah, that is the Uta. Very interesting to see it in this deck. I don't think I've seen many Bonnies play that card in their decks.
Well, it just is a really powerful way to kind of continuously reuse your Dawn over and over again. You are locked now of playing out of 5-cost characters or more for the rest of this turn when you get those 2 Dawn active. But Bonnie might not necessarily care because they have tons of cheaper cards that they're more than happy to spam out depending on their hand size. But the big thing about it is, I think, going to be the on KO effect. To be able to get like another free 5-drop in play if your opponent tries to get rid of this, because there's so much removal right now in the format that you can kind of like have punishes for it, or you get to keep a 5k body in play, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. Actually, that is very strong because he did just, or Yuri did just go ahead and restand the 4 Dawn that they just played with the Uta.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
basically a mini version of the 10-drop Shanks, but it also has like an on KO effect.
yeah. Oh, we're gonna play
Ooh,
the
and there we see the
Rosinante.
Rosinante, a Rosinante, and we get to keep a Dawn up. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean I think that just establishes that we're not getting a body KO just yet.
And we're still 1 turn away from the 5 Elders. Next turn, Yuri for Life is going to be on 9, which means they could establish a very early 9-drop Zoro if they have it in hand, and represent so much pressure for Connor over there. It could be pretty scary on the Bonnie side of the board if you're Connor playing Emu.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and play our Jupiter. So this Saturn is now swinging 7 at life, or at the Cavendish.
I think Cavendish is worth keeping around. It'll just give you access to your leader skill, even if you do choose to rest all your Dawn to play the Zoro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're making sure that you at least have one active Dawn, right? That's just what Bonnie's all for.
The unfortunate thing is that, like, against the Emu deck, you're kind of not priced into attacking your opponent's characters because you don't want to do their job for them of putting the 5 Elders in the trash. Speaking of a 5 Elder, is that a 5 Elder?
I think so.
Is that Workery?
I think it might be Workery, yeah.
Yeah. Which, having the blocker is pretty huge because we are representing a bunch of tiny attacks and not the biggest hand if we're Connor.
Yeah, which I mean I think that's very surprising too. I don't see many Emu players with their. Yeah, it was Workery. I don't see many Emu players with their hand size so low.
I mean, Yuri's putting on the pressure, and forcing Connor to play a lot more of these Elders rather than trash them. And there's, guys, I'm telling you, Yuri for Life has cracked this matchup when it comes to playing Bonnie, and it's called 9-drop Zoro. They love dropping this card whenever possible. There's a chance a second one's coming down next turn. By the way, I'm trying my best not to call shots that are gonna be wrong, but that's my guess as to what's happening next turn. But right now, we're swinging 6 with both Cavendish and Leader. We have a Dawn still active to stop any potential aggression, and we have a 9-drop Zoro with 2 Rosinante in play. So I don't know if you're Connor how you can deal with this board texture, but you got to deal with it now. But it's worth noting that Emu's time to shine is here. We're at 10 Dawn. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, and Emu's at what, 3 life left?
I mean, once a 9-drop Zoro stays in play for at least a turn, I think life size matters a little less. just
Oh
heads
yeah, no, I agree.
Connor could
But
be a
it
10
definitely,
life and it's still threatening. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but that's Zoro though. That's the guy. We saw Zoro last game. We saw Zoro this game. Even though we're playing Bonnie, it's pretty fun to see. So there we did use the leader skill to rest the Jupiter. We're going to use the 0-cost event to stop the attack. We're going to use leader skill as Connor to get an extra cycle and I believe get the last name that we need in the trash.
yeah, and this should be the 10 drop, the 5 elders.
It's a 3-drop, Xander.
Oh,
Clearly, just so you know.
I forgot. You're right. With that stage, that 10 cost does become a 3 cost.
And now all five elders come down. We're going to resolve all of their effects, starting with Saturn here. We're going to go ahead and look at the top 5, add a card to hand. We're going to be able to use Mars to go ahead and KO something with a base cost of 5. We have Peter buffing everything up. We have Venus, who's going to have Rush. And we have Workery, who's just there. He's there to hang out. So there we used the Rosinante replacement effect, or we just targeted a Rosinante with Mars. Both of which are possible.
Yeah, it becomes very, very interesting now with Connor having, I believe, 3 cards in hand. I think here you have to go for board with the Nushiro.
But like, you can't attack the Uta because if you do, Yuri for Life gets a free 5 cost out of their hand. So you're like, it's got to be Cavendish. We're swinging 8 with Venus Zoro. We're using Venus Zoro's effect to reduce something by 2 more K. Probably going to be the Cavendish. We're going to go ahead and block with the Rosinante because we now know that Yuri for Life, their 9-drop Zoro is perfectly safe because 5 Dawn in an Emu deck cannot threaten a 9-drop Zoro. So may as well do everything we can to kind of keep this Cavendish around. I forget, is Venus Zoro for the turn or is it just for the attack? I think it's for the turn. Right?
It is.
Reduce.
It is for the turn. Yes.
Okay, so this Cavendish is probably being swung at right now for 8. And or 9, depending on how many cards we have in trash because of the empty throne.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Cavendish did go to trash. So now Bonnie being at 10 Dawn, I think we can just swing out.
There's a world where Yuri could have let the first attack on the Cavendish through to just save the blocker Rosinante, because this Zoro is a bit more threatened now on the following turn by like a potential Tech Stussy, which I've seen some Emu players play, by a potential, random card that could be in Connor's deck. But, Yuri might just see red and go, it's time to punch. It's time to slash, baby. That could be all they're worried about right now. Getting a count of cards in trash, assessing the resources, always a good idea to figure out all information before you make any plays. Remember, Yuri for Life is playing for San Francisco's win here, and Connor is playing for Brooklyn's survival. So every decision matters. And both of these decks, once 10 Dawn hits, they can play so wildly different compared to other decks in the game. It's kind of fun to watch. I'm gripped, if you could tell.
For sure. I mean, this is a very, very strong and interesting matchup. I don't think I see, at least over here in my local scene, I don't see this very often.
And there we see Hody Jones coming down, resting both of the blockers on Connor's side. You're right. Connor has a 2-card hand. That basically means attacks like this Uda here for 5, our leader for 5, they cost half your hand.
Oh my gosh. We're going to go.
Oh, there's the Hody, and we have 3 attacks with Zoro.
9 restand.
1.
Oh, he did hit a trigger.
Okay, Okay. This will give us some more cards in hand to potentially stop. That gets the Peter. That's a 2K. This first 9's not going to be enough, but will the third 9 be enough? 2K, 1K.
I think that's 1 left in hand.
There's no way, right? There's no way.
Yeah,
it's just a 5 elders, and Yuri for Life takes it, giving San Francisco the win.
Oh wow.
Whoo!
Oh my gosh,
Man,
that was insane.
I said once a 9-drop Zoro hits the board and stays in play for one turn, life size does not matter. 3 life, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and swing 3 times with this boy, and that's all that's gonna happen. Wow. Yuri for life, taking it for San Francisco, doing the same thing they did last time they were on the show, beating Emu with Bonnie, and that is, as a Bonnie fanboy, very nice to see.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting to see that matchup. I personally don't think I've seen that the way that it was played out. So that was definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely loved the Uda play on, turn, I think it was like 6 or 8. Being able to just establish that many extra bodies on top of having a really sticky card in play was just super powerful and gave, Yuri for Life the extra attack they needed to kind of eat up their opponent's hand to the point where that Zoro could actually go for game. Super awesome to see. Also, the Hody Jones. Let's not forget Hody Jones being the superstar that he is.
I mean, it's something over here in my meta or my local scene. We always say, don't forget about Hody, because that card will sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, Connor did a great job of playing around it. They had plenty of Dawn active, and they had 2 active blockers, but unfortunately, that's not enough for Hody. You can specifically rest 2 blockers, and that's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I want to point out that that does mean San Francisco is the victor of the One Piece Pirates League Official Shop Edition, period. But that is not the end of this stream. We will still see the final match between the last player from San Francisco and the last player from Brooklyn for your viewing pleasure. And because we know the matchups ahead of time, it's going to be a pretty good one. I don't want y'all to miss it. But just keep that in mind. And then after all of that, we're going to have a little bit of a celebration, let's say, for San Francisco on them winning. So definitely be excited to see that.
Yeah. And I think we're going to take a small little break here real quick just to get our next players set up. We will see you guys real soon.
Welcome back, captains and pirate crew. We just got back from a crazy game 2 where Yuri for Life was able to clinch the victory for San Francisco, claiming that the West Coast is the best coast. I'm in California, sorry for the bias shown there. But that's not the end of today's show. What do we have lined up for the team, Xander?
I think this last round here, we get Sabo versus Green Purple Luffy. This is going to be a very
a battle of the
interesting
brothers.
matchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We did see Will featured as well in the last time San Francisco was on the show, playing this exact Sabo deck, and they had quite the dramatic match against a Zoro player. I'll put it like that. So we fought against the first attendant of the Straw Hat crew. Now we're fighting against the captain. Will's like, don't worry, Sabo still got this. This is the brand new Sabo, by the way, the red black one from OP13. It's got a lot of really cool abilities that revolve around increasing the costs and power of your various cards, and it is a 5-life leader that is dual color, but it has the downside of being a 4-power leader until you have less than 4 life.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup, right? I mean, between these two brothers, I don't know how this matchup typically would go.
Well, I think it'll line up to where I played a little bit of Red Black Sabo in my time. It'll come down to how well Will can deal with the 5-drop Sanji and Puddings and how many Rob can stick. Because as we know, the king of mid-range, Green Purple Luffy, can snowball pretty quickly if those things get left unchecked. But we do play a pretty nice removal suite as well as a pretty nice aggressive suite as Will, thanks to the Red and Black Revolutionary Army cards. So I could see some fun shenanigans happening, but that'll happen more towards the mid and late game. Right now, we're just kind of setting up still, getting that Bill of Betty to go ahead and get the Rev Army HQ stage. This will be a pretty awesome. It's basically a Germa 66 retrain, but for Revolutionary Army. You can discard a card, look at the top 3, add a Rev Army card. This gets more powerful things in the trash as well that you can use to reuse with cards like the powerful 8-drop Monkey D. Dragon.
The Dragon?
From OP13.
Yes.
Yeah. That card's really sick.
Oh, we're going to swing a 6 here.
I know, right? Two dot on your leader, swing 6. It's not the deck will be very, very cool once we're at 3 life. We just have to get there. It'll take a minute. He's got to channel his inner ace if he wants to increase his power.
Yes, and we're going to go ahead and play a Sanji and Pudding using Leader Effect to return 2, restand 2, and then with the Sanji Pudding, gain 1 active Dawn back.
Sanji and Pudding, everyone's favorite 1-drop. We love it. And this does also make our leader a 6K during Will's turn as well, which is worth noting. But Rob is kind of maybe thinking about whether or not it's worth attacking and activating the leader skill to become a 5K base, and then, of course, activate the other skills once we can get more powerful characters in play. And we're going to choose to go in there with the Nami.
Swing of 4.
Going to go and demand a counter there from Rob. And then we're going to swing 6, which is magic numbers here. But now our leader will become that beautiful 5K that we know and love him for. And once we get to that powerful 6 Dawn turn, we'll be able to start activating some other cards here. And ooh, Hair Removal Fist is a trigger there. Going to be able to draw and drop from our hand. Looks like we got rid of that Rev HQ that we searched last turn.
Yeah, very strong turn. Or I guess counter turn.
Love it. Is that the 1-drop Nami? It's got to be, right? Because we're searching the top 5. And a whip.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. Grabbing a Sanji Pudding. Excuse me. Not a whip.
Yeah. Very strong search for Rob there. Making sure that they're going to have a second Sanji Pudding on the board next turn.
It is worth noting, too, that Will discarded a copy of the Secret Rare Sabo from OP13. That kind of leads me to believe they have another one in hand. Yep, and ooh, it's a pretty one.
It is the pretty one. It's my favorite looking one too.
So we're going to go ahead and use the skill, increase its cost, attach it onto our leader, and now all of our effects are online. We are now a 7K leader. All of our cards increase their cost and their power. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's during both players' turns as well. So now we're going to have a swing here for 7 at our opponent, who is 6. You know, Luffy is still Sabo's brother. They're both increasing if they're increasing. Also, look at the size of Rob's hand. It is ginormous. Exact opposite problem of
Yeah.
Connor from the last game. I have too many cards.
Something that I do recall a lot from green purple Luffy players consistently having a large hand.
It's because everything in their deck is either a 1-for-1 or a +1.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can just print Dawn. Is that a second copy of Sanji Pudding? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Rob did play a second copy of Sanji Pudding. So they did draw because they were below Dawn from Will's side, and then essentially gained 4 Dawn back active?
2 from the leader, and then we gained an actual 2 from the Dawn deck itself. Yeah, it's kind of like I'm saying, like, Will, to deal with this much advantage, we have to get rid of these Hajime Puddings as quickly as possible. That's going to be easier said than done. Is that the new Zoro that's coming down there, if I'm correct?
I think it's the Sanji, the 5-drop Sanji, the new one.
Ah, yes. Thank you. Another beautiful new card, giving you more access to your Dawn cards. Going to go ahead and get another Dawn active during the end of the turn as well, it looks like. And then we're going to go ahead and begin Will's turn here. Going to a Dawn. If we have any answers for this board, now is the time to use them, I think. Because once a green-purple deck feels safe enough to start attacking with Sanji and Pudding, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to pitch another Secret Sabo for the stage effect.
I mean that's kind of reading Monkey D. Dragon to me. Oh, and look at it. I am psychic. My observation hockey is in full effect today. We bring out that 6-drop Sabo using the effect by returning 3 Rev Army cards back into the deck to call out a 6-cost or less. Both of these Sabos will be able to activate, increasing their cost for the turn and attaching Dawn somewhere else. We'll have the leader Sabo effect to boost everyone up again. But, notably, we're not dealing with these Sanji and Puddings. And if you're trying to get into a value war with green-purple Luffy, that feels pretty tough to win. But let's see how it shapes up.
Swinging 8. Probably at life. Oh,
and there we see the Thunder Bagua coming down.
Yeah, and then I think, funny enough, I think that's the first card in Rob's trash.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We don't trade cards here. Everything stays in play, except for Kaido. Kaido can leave.
All right, and it looks like Rob's at 9 Dawn.
Yeah, and Will's at 8. So we need to do some Dawn minusing effects if you want to, like, super duper plus off of these Sanji and Puddings. But at this point, I mean, we got a board of 5 characters. I believe all three of them have a base power of 7,000. It is worth noting that our leader on Will's side is a 6K. Is that Dead Man's Game?
That was Dead Man's Game. So we're going to rest both about to say,
but we have a lot of blockers as Will, which is nice. But now we don't.
Yeah, so resting both Sabo blockers and gaining all the Dawn back.
It's basically free, yeah.
Yeah, basically free. So I think we're just going to go swinging here.
Now, I do think Will's hand is, decently sized as well. So I don't think Rob is going for gameplay. They're just trying to maximize how much damage they do this turn, and then maybe maximize how much damage they can do next turn because they have another copy of Dead Man's Game. Totally reasonable to think.
Yeah,
But you also have to keep a lot of
very
defense
possible.
back. Yeah, so Rob needs to be careful not to just rest all of their Dawn cards because Will has a lot of attacks, and they all can be pretty reasonably sized next turn. And we are at 3 life as Rob, so we got to be a bit careful here, but we're still well in the driver's seat if we're Rob. We're feeling very comfortable. But there we see the counters for Will, trying to stave off all this potential aggression here, but just another 8 coming down from these Sanji and Puddings.
So I think that's 7 Dawn here for Rob. Rob could go ahead and play the 6 cost secret Luffy.
Oh, you think he's trying to get a multi-attack angle down?
Yeah,
I respect
I
it.
don't think he will. I don't think he'll be able to restand. But you could still get the aggression in.
But surely you don't want to, rest all your Dawn and not have access to your defensive events, right? Like you want to make sure that you don't accidentally oopsies into a, 9-9-9-9 turn from your opponent that all can threaten you to lose.
Yeah, that is fair. But it looks like
Yep, turns over. Yeah.
Yep. And Sabo being at 10 Dawn here. And gonna go ahead and search. We are pitching a Stussy in order to search here.
Stussy is a really powerful removal piece of this deck has access to, but unfortunately it's not exactly statted well against the 5-drop, Sanji and Pudding, because by the time you can get rid of one of them, one more has probably already hit the board. They've all gotten their value already. So it just has an awkward timing thing for this matchup. And it's not really for this deck that's more low to the ground like green purple is. That said, though, if it's a powerful card, you gotta throw it down. I mean, I'm not against it.
Crazy timing.
Crazy, making me look silly all the time. But the commentator's curse. But it's probably still like the highest statted card you could throw down here. The only probably better card here would have been maybe 8-drop Monkey D. Dragon, the red one with Rush. But even then, that's not really doing too much, given that our opponent has 4 active Dawn, 2 life, and is a purple deck.
Yeah, I do agree.
Purple still having one of the best defensive card pools in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a purple player live at 0 life in a way that is almost insulting. I'm like, how dare you be at 0 life for this long in this game?
Yeah, and I mean, if it's anything like any Luffy leader, any purple Luffy leader playing that Gum Giant, being able to return 2 Dawn and then just draw 2 more cards is probably how they survive the most.
Mm-hmm. So there we see these Sabo being swinging here for 7. Potentially going at that Sanji Pudding.
Oh, we're gonna Bagua.
Another copy of Thunder Bagua. Wow. We just want to get that free Dawn for the following turn. Okay, this could be how Rob drew it up. We did a lot of damage last turn. Are we going to have another copy of Dead End's Game to rest our opponent's last Dawn and their blocker Sabo and just go for as many punches as possible, as many as it takes to win the game here? And show Sabo once and for all who the superior brother is? Let's find out.
Oh, we're going to go ahead and play a Nami.
Nami can search for Dead Man's Game, can it?
Yes, because it is a Straw Hat.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh,
And it did.
oh, I told you the observation hockey is locked in, you guys. Not for Stussy. Stussy distracted me, but this time it was locked in. Okay,
Right,
I mean, this is everything Rob wants to be doing. Even if they don't win the game this turn, they can probably pretty safely maintain a healthy amount of active Dawn to survive the following turn. But if we're not doing any board control, these gigantic characters from Will are going to start to really threaten us. So we definitely need to really push the envelope if we're Rob and not allow Will to turn the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Because a really easy
So
way to
just
eat up a bunch of cards in hand is by having giant characters that demand a lot of cards to be stopped.
Yes. We're gonna. I think that's a 7 or an 8.
It was 8 into 6, I believe. But this is going to be 15, and Will just scoops it up. Rob wins for Brooklyn, putting a point on the board, and very importantly, having the bragging rights to take home to Brooklyn to his teammates and being like, guys, at least I won my game.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, what an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it definitely is a really tough one, I think, for Sabo, because Sabo is more of a deck that likes to, again, more like a late game centered deck, like a lot of the decks out of OP13 kind of are. The longer the game goes on, the better they feel, because you can just make all your characters really well statted, and they're just lining up super well to all the, really powerful removal and whatnot that's in the game right now. But it's not the best against a hard value deck like green purple Luffy. Being able to have that many cards in hand, that many resources to actually use all those cards is what that deck's been doing for a very long time and will continue to do as long as it exists.
Yeah, it's definitely just, I don't know, that's just so weird and so interesting to see. Just the whole mess, not mess, but the whole play of that deck. So definitely cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super awesome. I believe that puts a wrap to all the matches we have for everyone watching at home, but that's not necessarily the end of the show. I'm going to double check with our team because we might have a fun little award ceremony to celebrate San Francisco in winning. And even if we don't, I'm going to celebrate them right now. Congratulations to Will, Yuri for Life, and Blue Kool-Aid Man for representing their shop proudly. And of course, a big congratulations to Brooklyn for making it this far. They had quite the competition to go through to even get here. Is an honor, and they're still walking away with some prizes, which is going to be super awesome. So a moment when we will take a little bit of a break and come back to you guys with either a really fun award ceremony or a proper outro for the entire show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. y'all. Here it is. We've got Blue Kool-Aid Man, Yuri for life, and Will representing San Francisco. They have those beautiful trophies. Big congratulations to them. Look at them, Xander. They're so happy.
I mean, I would be too if I had one of those. They look sick.
Oh man, I wish we could see up close what the engraving on the trophy says, but I can see the Pirates League logo. I believe I can see the phrase official shop champion on that. Oh, it's so beautiful. A big piece of glass to take home to your family to show off. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, just a good memorabilia, just essentially just for you, just to showcase to your friends and family and anybody else you really want to.
What a great moment for the Bay Area proper, as well as for these players. Super awesome to see the One Piece card game having moments like this. And we see Blue Kool-Aid Man. He's like, hey, can someone take a picture of me with this? He's like, I want to get this documented so I can show it to everybody. I want it right now. Adorable, adorable. He's like, look at this. I got this by attacking with Zoro. That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yuri for life, by the way, was is our friend right there in the middle. They definitely reminded me how much I love Bonnie and definitely gave me the secret sauce on how to play the Noki 13, so I really appreciate them for that. Definitely going to enjoy doing that. I have to wait till I get back from Japan, though. Right now, I'm well into OP 14 here. And then we got Will all the way on the right. Our Sabo player, he had a really amazing match in the semis to bring the finals, playing that Sabo deck with the Black Vortex against the opposing Zoro. And then they waved goodbye. Congratulations. Thank you guys for all your hard work. Thank you for all hard work on the staff over there at San Francisco, making sure that this tournament, as well as this stream, is running super smoothly. But there it is. That's the Pirates League. Xander, you were only able to join us for one, but I think it was a pretty impactful one.
Yeah, definitely. It was super cool, and I was very excited to join you on this one.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure to have you, my friend. Before we sign off proper, is there anything you would like to say to the people at home?
Yeah, I mean, guys, just keep playing, keep testing. You never know what could win out there, and it's been a pleasure joining you guys for this one, and hopefully many more.
If y'all want to see more awesome future events that get streamed here on the Play Bandai Card Games channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything in the future. I've been the True Champion Steven. He has been Xander, and this has been the Pirates League Official Shop Edition. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.